Welcome to another exciting episode of the Route 77 podcast. Today we're diving into a topic that's close to my heart, the joys and freedoms of being single. Yes, you heard that right. In a world where being in a relationship or married is often seen as the ultimate goal, we're here to shed light on the often overlooked perks of the single life. From personal growth to the sheer joy of autonomy, join us as we navigate through the liberating journey of singlehood. So whether you're single by choice or by circumstances, this episode is for you to embrace and celebrate your solo journey. Welcome to the Route 77 podcast. I am your host, Natasha, and I am here with Monique.
Hello.
And David.
Hello.
And we're here, all three of us again. David is feeling better, although he wishes he were in bed. Apparently, he's changed his bedtime to 7 o'clock.
Oh, we're kicking you up. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's just one of the joys of being single, David, right? You can make it your own schedule.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is if you're a morning person, you can go to bed early and wake up before the birds. I don't get that.
Turns out with me, as long as I get 8 hours, I am 100% functional no matter how much. Because I go to bed at 7 and I'm up at 3 or 4 a.m. It's just everything. But I'm not like tired. So it's all, you have to get 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah. For me, if I get up early, even if I got like a whole pile of sleep, it makes me exhausted.
If I get more than 6 hours, then I feel like I feel like I didn't sleep enough. Like I've overslept. It's that kind of weird you feel like a zombie, even though I'm like,
how I slept so long? Why am I feeling like this? Yeah.
Yep. This is the downside of being not morning people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we thought we would discuss things that we enjoy about being single. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there because so many times this topic gets bashed of some sort of thing about how people are just selfish and we're trying to destroy the family by not encouraging everybody to get married and have kids. This is nothing against marriage. It has nothing against people finding a spouse or having children or anything. You can enjoy something and not be dissing something else.
Right.
Because
I know many people who absolutely love being married. They love being parents. They find extreme joy out of that. But just because you are single doesn't mean that you cannot find the joys
and
of your
joys
life.
Of things that aren't available to married people or people with children because of the nature of being married and having children.
Yeah, because you always have to have somebody else to think about.
And just because you like having your independence, say, for example, doesn't mean that you're a selfish person who doesn't deserve to get married or whatever.
I know some of those comments are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because there was a TikTok that talked about the girl.
Yeah, we talked about it, that one, and how she got completely bashed as like this selfish, like, I don't even know if they were like Karening her or whatever, just like how she was just like privileged, selfish person who just was trying to find the positives in her everyday life.
Yep.
So this has nothing against married people. It has nothing against children. Has nothing against people looking to get married.
No.
You're allowed to enjoy something that you have. You can enjoy, if you're a person who enjoys snow, you don't have to feel guilty because there's people who don't enjoy snow. Or that there's a people that are suffering blizzards or something somewhere like detrimental weather.
Yeah. If you're in it, and if you're one of those who's just, I like the summer, I don't like the snow, it's okay. You're allowed to have those kind of.
Like sometimes there's times when I feel, I'm glad I don't have to deal with the weather. Like I'm not really working as much breeding cows and it could snow the other day and I'm like, I don't even have to deal with it. It's wonderful. But then there's that feeling of guilt because there is somebody dealing with it, like the farmers and things like that. And it's funny because I just wanted to, you can enjoy something even if somebody else doesn't enjoy it.
Right.
Or is incapable of enjoying it. David, what is something that you love about being single?
Flexibility of scheduling and time.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because we're not tied down to having to make it home to feed the kids, or
your spouse is expecting you or something.
Yeah. Although the other day when you were at Taekwondo until it was just like, You didn't get into an accident, did you? Because
Yeah.
you're not home yet. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's really late.
It's
I said,
just-
what are they doing?
Yeah,
It's like-
just a lot of meetings and taekwondo stuff.
that it's one of those kind of
Yeah.
things that when you're living in community like we are with the house, is that you do have that. Whereas you know that there's somebody who's not going to be. You got to be home at a certain time, but it's just like just the concern that you are okay, right? But fine, we're just running late. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Just making sure
There's
you
no
don't
pressure. You
die.
have to be home, but you're not pressured. Oh, I need to help my spouse with the kids, or my
I need to
spouse.
go home and
I
make
need to
dinner.
go home because it's just a loving thing to do to not not act like you're single and just do whatever and leave your spouse out of your
Hanging.
life. And that's totally positive and good things when you're married and
Yeah.
have children to do these things.
Yeah, because that loving relationship says that to each other. I have somebody waiting at home for me that I can't wait to get home to.
Yeah. And they're worth me giving up this aspect to gain another equally great aspect. And that's fine. So
Yeah. At first, it's just like, just checking to make sure you're still alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then no pressure. You don't have to come home. It's
Like,
okay.
no pressure. I'm just making sure everything's good.
Yeah. And it's
I'm just watching my shows, drinking coffee, drinking tea, eating
enjoying.
popcorn.
Yeah. So how have you been using your flexibility with your schedule, David?
School, and I've been coding. I've been way more productive in coding. I don't want to. Actually, I found a couple things that were interesting.
Oh,
The amount of actual pop that I feel like drinking is actually diminished a lot.
but why would that be?
And I don't know. I just don't feel like sugary drinks as much as I did when I was going to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning and getting up at 11.
Yeah. Maybe that's
Um,
a better system for your body.
then I also found that I less likely want to play video games. I seem to be more productive when it comes to side projects, school, and other things. And this is me getting up, and this is me actually starting my day at 3:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's just
And that would kill me. It would really kill me to try to do it that early. Yeah.
yeah, but I've had 7-8 hours of sleep at that point.
Yeah. For me, it doesn't matter. I've gone to bed at 8 o'clock at night and he still doesn't feel like enough for me, but that's just the way I'm built.
Yeah, right now it's my body trying to like, what the heck is going on? It's just okay, this is where you're sleeping. But then, for example, today I had a headache, like a really bad headache from 5 to 11 o'clock, or no, 5 to 7 or 8, and then I went to bed again. Apparently that fixed it. I slept till 11 and then I fixed it. But that's one of the benefits too, is that I have the ability to see what works and doesn't work,
Mhm.
and then I can build my schedules and around what works.
Good. How about you, Monique? What's a positive thing for being single that you?
And watch whatever show I want to watch without somebody saying, you can't watch that show.
I get that.
Nope. We're going to watch this. But I don't like. Now I can go into my room and watch what I want.
Yes. On your ginormous
No,
theater in a room. It's
I
like
have
a
a
bed
theater
with
in
a
my room.
theater, like ginormous TV.
You don't have to worry about talkers either. We'll
Oh,
ask
no.
a ton of questions. So I know people, friends that do that, and family.
There was this woman I was in university with, and before we became roommates, we met at one of the dorms. And I can't remember what movie we watched that was on that the person was watching, but we ended up talking the entire time through the movie with facts and things and all this. And it's me. Oh, it's just you. Okay. And all these things. And I think the person watching the movie was like, you guys shut up. And then we found out that we like really got on together because we had a similar sense of humor and all these things. But yeah, it was, yeah. So definitely, yeah, you don't have that. Like put it down like the script.
I hate when you have to adult.
Yeah, it's like adulting.
That's the other thing is like when you can choose sometimes to just today I am not adulting. I am just not going
You
to
can really latch on to that child aspect of you because I don't know, you and I and David, we all got ourselves lightsabers. And the amount of parents, dads especially, that are like so envious and they're like, I could never get one. I couldn't justify that to my wife. And I'd be like, why did you get a lightsaber? I'll have to get one for my kid. And then it's just,
so I can play with
and
that.
then you'll need another one so you can fight. So you can just put in those things.
Yeah.
And just enjoy being a kid in heart sort of thing. You don't have to be like, I wanted I thought I want to eventually join the demo team at Taekwondo. And I was just like, no, it's not for me. That's not for me. That's what I always thought. And I'm like, wait, why couldn't it be for me? It's not like I have somebody waiting here for me at that on a Saturday when it's supposed to be family time. It's just go and do
Family
it.
time. So we used to have this where on Friday nights we'd go out and have dinner after a week of the amount of work that we do. Now it's gotten to the point of just, yeah, there is just no day anymore.
Yeah, especially adult testing. Yeah, it didn't happen this week.
No.
But yeah, it's definitely, and it doesn't mean, again, as parents or adults or like spouses, you can't have that kind of fun, but you're just a little more free to have that fun.
Yeah. I know there are some parents who, and mostly men, who just don't grow up with their kids. They grow up with their kids. So
Yeah.
they have fun and they play with their kids. And kids could be, like you were talking to your nieces and nephews earlier today.
Yeah.
And your youngest niece, she's what, 3?
Yeah.
And giggling is just, there is nothing more precious than listening to a little girl giggle like that. It was just the cutest thing. Little boy giggles are cute.
Yeah. They don't do it as often. The girl, because they were playing with the filters and overlaying like owls and cats and llamas over their faces. And she thought that was hilarious, which was super exciting today because that's the first time she's really interacted with me. Even though she let me hold her before I left last July, she actually came and talked on purpose. So it was cute to be able to do that. And that's a joy of being like a single aunt.
Yes.
You can
play with the kids, have fun with them and say, take them home now.
Here you go. I fill them up with red candy and Coke. Here you go. Not my problem anymore.
You were that evil one.
Yeah.
There's also where people say, as a single person, you also have the ability that you can travel whenever you want. Yes and no. Like married people, finances play a big part on whether or not you can travel or not.
Yeah.
So we're poor people. We don't travel as much as
and
we like.
and it depends too if you're a traveling type person. Like
Yeah.
you might prioritize traveling to go, hey, this is where I'm spending my money.
Right.
I'll give up other things in order to spend money on traveling. And there are people like that. I'm not one of those people. I don't mind traveling for a purpose. Like when we went to Korea, that was planned and there was a specific purpose. And I would maybe like to go to Scotland someday because that's my heritage background.
And the Creation Museum.
And the Creation Museum in the States.
We have no
definitely.
plans to travel.
Never that one. So that one was definitely on our list.
Yeah.
But general travel has not been there.
Like Carly and her boyfriend.
Yeah, they're just like cruising all over the place.
She lived here for what, a year and a half almost,
With,
a little bit
4 or 5 cruises, like kind of crazy.
It was like every 2 months they were going on another cruise.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so traveling can be either way, because I know a lot of people, they wait until the kids are grown. But a lot of them, like, they go to places that we might shy away from going. And I'm jealous of that.
Yeah.
Like, I have yet to go to Disneyland. Amber's gone to Disneyland.
What?
Your daughter's gone, but you haven't.
But I haven't.
Maybe you can ask Pastor Jose if you can tag along next time.
I know, because they went with the kids. So maybe we just need to borrow a couple of kids and say, can we borrow your kids?
Can we take them to Disneyland? And I'd be like, wait, what? No, we just want to go to Disney. Apparently you can't actually get into Legoland if you're not a kid or you're not bringing a kid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading this article about this guy who's been like a Lego freak his whole life. And then he wouldn't let him in because he didn't have a kid with him.
So did he go and borrow one?
I don't know. That's not the only option because I love Lego. I want it.
Oh my gosh.
Give me like 8 years and I'll take my nephew.
Thankfully, the Creation Museum does not have an age restriction, and it's okay to go to museums.
So what's good with a single one is that you can sometimes have a problem traveling because you don't have someone to go with.
Yeah.
Traveling there are people who do it on their own, but there's a feeling that you need to enjoy it with somebody.
Yes.
And so finding somebody to do it with can be a challenge for some people.
Yeah. See, when I went to Scotland, I was actually planning on going by myself. I wasn't sure how I was going to afford it, but I was going to make it happen. And then I was going to go to Holland to visit my cousin first and then just go a couple of days and then come back. And she said, why don't we just go together? Okay. And she said, and I'll drive. And I'm going, even better. Because really, to go from Holland, we drove from Holland to England, and we got there because you had to go through France and stuff like that. So we got there in the evening, right where Stonehenge was.
Yeah.
So that's where, but that was their surprise. And then I'm going to back up a bit. Before I got to Holland, I also found out that my cousin Patty was going. And I was just going, oh, I thought it was just going to be my cousin Francis and myself. But it actually was pretty good. Even though it was my trip, my idea, I got relegated to the back seat. The oldest. Excuse me, people.
You can
I
say
was
like
playing driving mistakes.
Well, we did not age ourselves at all.
Not at all. But it was such a good time, and we had such a blast, and we all got matching rings from Scotland. So we all had the matching rings, and we just had a blast, and we stayed in some of the most craziest places. We stayed in a prison that was converted to a hotel. And yes, the rooms were quite just, yeah, I can see this as being a prison cell. We did the Beatles tour. We saw Stonehenge. We went to Scotland. We walked Culloden Fields, which was pretty darn cool. I left my DNA in Scotland in Fort William. So just to let that out. And we stayed in a castle that was converted to a hotel. And that was pretty cool too. We also took boat tours, and we went to the castles. We went to the Isle of Skye. We had such a blast, and those memories were there, right?
And even been like years of my and David's time in Korea, like it's definitely there. Like
How much of a blast was that? Like when David, being blind, drove the boat.
with Master Choi, who's also blind,
He was
navigating
navigating.
and navigating.
And you and I in the back one. It was so fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yep. And when we went to go do laundry down in this back street.
And in Seoul, Korea, that's probably like our most talked about story, and it's the one that wasn't planned.
Yeah.
No. So going on vacation with people
Yeah.
as opposed to going all by yourself.
Or when we created like a bond, the three of us in that moment. But there's a difference like when you go on a vacation with kids,
Yeah.
and when you go on a vacation as adults, because like there's a lot, it's all kid centered, usually the vacations, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also like willy-nilly based on if they're how young they are, if they're in a good mood, if they're tired, if they get sick. And so it can dictate how your vacation goes, which again, is not a bad thing. It's just a thing that happens
It's just
when you're
different.
married with kids. It's just a thing.
David got sick
Yeah.
on our trip to Korea. So we had to baby him a little bit.
Yes. Although I think it was hilarious when Master Choi was just like, you're laying down in the tour van and David was playing his video game.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think the biggest thing you were looking forward to when you were sick was going for chicken soup.
Soup, yeah. Like that's the only thing he heard. You heard chicken soup.
That was the best chicken noodle soup I have ever had in my
I'd have to say I still think about it.
Yeah.
But it was just like his sick body just latched onto chicken soup. And he kept going, didn't we say something about chicken soup? Like, where's this chicken soup that he kept asking about, which was very cute and hilarious. But it was phenomenal chicken soup.
It was, yeah. It was actually the chicken ginseng. It was a whole chicken.
Yeah, a whole chicken in a little
and it was
cauldron
stuffed
pot.
with rice and stuff in it.
Yeah, that was so good.
It was really good.
So good. It was like, definitely would be like, I don't even know where we were at that time and what restaurant it was at. No clue. We just went where we rode.
Yep.
Can't even remember. But it was the best soup ever.
I think part of it too is because the Korean names are not familiar.
No.
Like even in Scotland.
I couldn't even tell you if we're in Seoul at that point or not. But we just moved around so much. Like
Every day was a different place. And
yeah, and there's so much.
Way down over here to this little. That's
all we're going to do is walk. We're going to walk. We're going to walk, but we have to speed walk.
Yes.
There's no slow meandering walking. We're just the crazy North American.
There was one day that you recorded that we'd walked something like 25,000 steps or something like that. It was
crazy. And most of it's uphill both ways. I don't know how it happens. It just happens. Because 80% of Korea is hills.
Yep. So
and that's like the geography for you, not just me making up statistics.
No, because you may be going uphill, then you're going downhill, then you're going uphill again.
Yeah.
You're going downhill. So it's a lot of.
And then, there was always a place to be. So we were just huffing it. And
I'm surprised that we didn't lose like 1,000. We should have
been like so tiny. And it was like nothing.
I know.
I got home. I'm like, really? Nothing? I know we ate a lot, but it was Korean food, and there's not a lot of calories or fat, and I have no idea.
My pants don't say I laughed. I was like,
We must have eaten way more than we thought we did.
Yeah, it was very disappointing when they checked the scale when we got home
Yep.
because we should have with all that walking.
yep. With all that walking, we should have been next to nothing.
We also even did taekwondo.
I know we did taekwondo and half kilo, and they killed us when we were doing it. And you would think we should have lost like 50 pounds just on the exercise we did.
And the taekyon and sleeping on the floor and
That's got to burn calories. Maybe we should just start that as a new diet, just sleeping on the floor diet.
And the heat, we were sweating.
oh, I know because there were times when it was so hot too, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think one of the things that I actually love about being single is not so much that I love being sick or my nerve pain. And there is a point where you like to have someone to baby you a bit, but I don't have to worry about my kids while I'm incapacitated on the couch with my nerve pain. Or I don't have to worry about my spouse. Like, do they expect anything? Do they need dinner? Are they working 12 hours? Like, I can just die on the couch slowly. And, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I give my dog a treat and he'll leave me alone.
Yeah, you get left alone. You don't get harassed. You don't have to you're not going to make dinner. Are you just going to lay there?
Or feel like you
Or
should make them
guilty.
dinner because if they've been out working a whole day, especially if it's a physical job, you'd want to be, make sure they have food.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely if there's just things going wrong or that way, you don't have that stress of people depending on you, or especially if you have a baby or a toddler or something that needs constant supervision.
Or feeling guilty because you're not.
Yeah, especially if it comes on often.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then you're just like, am I ever better for these people in my life? Like,
Yep. But even if you're if you're sick with a cold and you're just miserable, you don't want to be around anybody. You don't have to worry about having to make concession for somebody else because it's like, I'm just going to be here in my room drinking whatever I want,
sleeping,
blowing my nose, sneezing,
barfing, whatever needs doing.
I'm just pretend I'm not here. And you don't have to feel guilty about it because.
And the thing is, we have a good situation. If I go, hey, can you grab this while you're out? Because I'm
Yep.
so sick. And then that's all the demands you have is just that they pick up some more meds or some chicken soup or something.
Yep.
And you might think of the other person and trying to what could they possibly want? Maybe they'll like this and bring it home. But there's no pressure. There's no, but there's
I'm probably easier to buy for in that respect because I'm not fussy.
I'm very fussy.
Would you like this? I don't know. What's it got? Oh, it's got mushrooms in it.
No mushrooms,
How about
please.
this one? Oh, it's got tomatoes. No. How
No,
about this one?
not whole tomatoes or tomato chunks. But yeah, so it's, and then also we can, because we talked about the flexibility too. Yeah, we can just decide quickly on a dime to change everything we were going to do that moment.
Yeah. Going home. Do you want to go for breakfast? Hey, sure. Well,
Yeah.
okay, here we go.
We have our places. But yeah, we have definitely, you can just make decisions on the fly.
Yep.
And you only have to consider consequences or positive, negatives towards yourself and the person you're going with if you're having a friend.
Do we have money in the bank for it?
That's usually the first question.
That's usually the first criteria.
Yeah.
No, we don't actually. You might want to wait.
It's a good connection there. It's a good deciding factor.
Yep.
It decides a lot for us.
Yeah, having money decides. I think money decides a lot for a lot of people. Though.
Yes.
And now in this day and age too, where the economy seems to be really tough on us middle class, lower class, that any kind of extracurricular activities really do get put on the back burner because our income is not matching the cost of living at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that little bit of a struggle, which will correct itself eventually. But right now, we just have to mind our P's and Q's, pay attention to our bank accounts and say, we have to actually put this off. We might as well just go home and why don't we just put something on the stove instead? What have we got? Oh, look, I bought a bag of chicken nuggets for $10. Why don't we just have that instead?
Yeah. And that's the thing. We can make financial decisions for better or for worse if it's not household ones.
Right.
Then for better or for worse, we can make our own financial decisions. We don't have to put it by anybody else. We don't have to anything like that. Doesn't matter how much. We just have to we have to talk to ourselves, and maybe we don't make wise decisions. So there's positives and negatives to that, but definitely there's the positives of, you just accountable to yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about those things. And again, we're not disparaging people who do, and we're not saying that we couldn't do that if we're in the position of being married and having kids like that in that kind of way. We're just saying it's a positive point of being single. And I think it can help in the church. You can be flexible if they go, hey, if you're say you're doing the video and they're going, hey, this person can't do it. Can you come and do it Sunday, with the days advance or 2 days advance notice, and you can do it. You don't have to go, oh, I have to get the kids up, or we only have one car and my spouse can't come, or whatever. So you just,
can you fill in for this person? Sure.
Yeah. So you have that instant decision making ability, and you don't have to go, I just need to talk about it with my spouse, which is a good thing to do if you're married. But you don't have that if you're not. So you can make decisions, and you can weigh the pros and cons in the moment and make very quick decisions.
Like when I have to be at the church early, I say, I got to be at the church early. You're driving yourself, or watching it on TV if you prefer.
Usually I come if I'm not sick. But any other positives that you have, David? Thinking?
I guess one of the things that and I don't know if this is really one of them, but I guess you're super flexible on what you can make and cook. I have no clue.
Yeah, that's true. I can make the same thing every single day, and it's good.
And it's out.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Monique knows. I get on a thing, and that's it.
Yeah.
Been beans lately.
There is one thing that I make for myself quite consistently, but I don't make it every day.
Yeah.
Because I could not eat that every day. I eat maybe once a week, maybe once every other week.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I tried to have a little bit more variety.
I'm just, if I like it and I'm feeling like it, sometimes I get into zones. Yeah. But I can do that.
I never order the triple play.
Never when we go to Boston. It's only been 6 months. Probably more, because I think it came out in the spring. So we're coming to probably up to a year.
Although I don't know, triple play, would it be around the time when there's a big sport thing?
Yeah. So
wouldn't it be isn't a triple play around baseball?
Yeah. So I don't know if it was the World Series or not. Anyway, but it was since they brought it out. Yeah. Boston Pizza. And I've been pretty much consistently ordering it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think you've deviated once since.
Did once. I had the ravioli, but I was sick that week.
Oh.
And I just felt like something smooth and same, no, not spicy. So
I'm just okay, what am I going to have this time?
I've had everything. But see, if you're single, you can make yourself the same thing every single day, and
only you got nobody to say.
No one's going to be like,
although your health might say something. Yeah. Making crap dinner every single solitary night, you might want to get something else in your diet.
I used to live off of. I loved craft dinner. I loved it. Now I'm just once in a blue moon.
But you need protein and you need vegetables.
That's just way too much.
That's why you have good old ramen with rice and vegetables and an egg on top.
Oh, so I do that.
Yeah. Eggs.
That's our other thing. She doesn't like.
That's the thing I love, is I don't have to make eggs for anybody ever. I do if I chose to, but I don't have to. So I don't have to smell those things.
No. And I will gladly make them myself, because I can make eggs in so many different ways, and I love my eggs.
Yeah.
If you've ever watched, what was it, Runaway Bride, with Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, which is technically their second movie together. And they call it the Runaway Bride because she would always, every time it was about time to get to the altar, and she would turn and run away. So she never actually got married. And one of the things that they had noted is that she would always eat the kind of eggs that her fiance at the time liked to eat. And she would make herself eat those same kind of eggs, because that's her way of being the same as him. And so she got challenged to actually discover what kind of eggs she actually liked herself to eat. Was it omelet, fried, boiled, poached, whatever? And I'm sitting there going, yes.
It's egg zero. No. I tried one time, a Chinese lady, my ex was doing some construction work, and she wanted to give us soup, and it was all good. And then she plopped an egg into it. And I really tried to be polite. I tried so hard, and all I was going to do was throw it up everything. So I was just I can't, I'm sorry. I tried.
And it could be See, because you can eat eggs again if it's
Yeah, if
mixed
it's in like a cake, that's
so it's
fine.
not an
It's not
actual
an
allergy.
no. And I know somebody who's actually even allergic to touch the shells. They can't even touch the shells of an egg.
Yeah.
So I'm not, but it's maybe an intolerance or something that my
Yeah.
body's just no. Apparently, I
It's
did eat the dip eggs at one point somewhat when I was little,
Oh,
but that didn't last long. And I
it's
only did
probably
it
the
once.
texture.
Maybe. I don't like the smell at all. And even if they, because it's like the coffee thing, if people are like, you can't even taste the egg. And I'm like, that's all taste.
if you had at any time, and you may not remember, eaten an egg that made you throw up,
Maybe I haven't.
that will cause aversion to it.
Yep,
I
that's
know-
what happened with that happened with me with brown beans. I cannot eat brown beans for some reason because I was a babysitter fed them to me when I was sick, and all I did was throw them up. So
Yeah.
now I just cannot go near brown beans.
I had that with the cinnamon rolls. I had them at like when I went to like grade 13 and they had them in the cafeteria and I used to love getting them once in a while. And then I got them and I ended up getting the flu. And so I was like throwing them up and now I'm like, I can't eat them.
Yeah. I had that with oysters. I can eat clams, but I still have not been able to bring myself to eat oysters anymore because I threw them up. I had gone to a restaurant and had gotten food poisoning. I had the cold seafood platter, and it could have been anything on there that I didn't agree. Oh my gosh, I was sick. I was in pain sick.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently that kind of sickness when you get food poisoning from seafood can actually kill you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I was just deathly sick.
Oh, man. I think I had that with the fish oil that time
Yeah.
because it didn't agree with me. So yeah, that's the great thing about being single. You don't have to make these things that you don't like or don't agree with you. I used to feel a little guilty because I didn't really like the smell of fish, but then my ex liked fish. But then we used to just get it when we went out to a restaurant or something. So that way there's still ability for them to have it. But
Yeah.
now I don't have to make fish. If Monique wants to, it's fine. I can deal with it. But I don't have to make it.
No.
I don't have to look at scales and eyeballs and things.
And that's the thing is I like to cook. So if I want
Whatever.
fish, I will make fish.
Yeah.
And I don't have to, why are you making me fish?
Yeah,
Because you
you're
don't
not-
have to.
Yeah, like, we don't expect to be made food by one another, but
No.
if we do, then we appreciate that
Yeah.
they made.
Yeah.
So it's not like an expectation.
If I make spaghetti, I'll make it for the both of us because
Yeah.
you can't make small portions of spaghetti.
No, I can, but
You can, but you do. So you just take this can and throw
I
it
did.
in the pot.
Yeah, I just have my cheat way of doing it.
But I use vegetables.
Yeah,
and
I only
eat
make
sauce.
pasta and sauce. It's like the quick half dinner version.
Yeah,
It's the
no.
quick part.
You
I
you
make
uh
a big meal out of it.
do you just dump the sauce on, or do you actually put?
I just dump it on because it gets warmed up with the noodles that are already warm. I don't need
And then she
spaghetti.
grates
Doesn't and I grate cheese, lots of cheese on it. I don't actually need. That's the one food I don't need to be like hot. Like I can eat like even cool spaghetti, not cold, but cool, and I'm okay with it. I don't know why. I don't like cold pizza,
No,
which
no.
I don't understand people. I
I
mean,
don't.
And,
I
and-
don't mind it. If I can warm it up, I'll warm it up. But if I will eat it cold, if
and
I
I
don't have a choice.
and I'm not crazy about microwave pizza. I prefer to reheat it in the
in the
oven.
oven. I do that with my meatballs when I make the rice meatballs.
Oh, do you?
The sweet and sour meatballs, I'll just not in the oven, but I'll put it in a pot with a little bit of water, and it's better warmed up that way than it is in the microwave.
Yeah.
But see, when you're
Yeah, I
single,
got
David.
an air fryer for Christmas, so that's
Nice.
how I reheat stuff now.
That's a good idea.
Chicken wings.
Monique makes really good chicken wings.
Yeah.
In the air fryer.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So-
unfortunately my roommate doesn't like chicken, so we rarely have chicken.
Oh,
So I
no.
rarely have.
See, and that's something that I did notice since we moved in is that some of the foods that I was eating when I was by myself, I have cut back on because it's just not that I feel like I'm depriving myself or anything. And I might and it's some of that is starting to come back again. But it just out of I don't know what it was. Like I don't cook as much fish as I used to. You know, like the smell of it. So
But I don't like complain.
but I try to be
It's-
respectful
it's,
and
uh,
not distinct.
yeah.
But if I know you're going to be gone for a long time, if you tell me, by the way, if you want to have fish tonight, I'm not going to be home till.
Or I'm going to
Yeah,
drink
what-
with me.
Yeah.
I have fish.
My
I'm
roommate-
going to Ontario for a week. I'm going to have fish.
I'm
I'm going to have shrimp and I'm going to have fish and I'm going to just going to all.
That's like still in the house. I know you had seafood.
I have purification from Young Living. That'll get rid of that.
No fishy smell.
No fishy smell.
Just have that going in the background while you make fish and it'll be good.
It'll be good, right?
Yeah. Lots of positive things to being single.
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah.
of positives.
And if you're not allergic to pets and you want pets,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people, they get married and they have kids, and sometimes the kids are allergic to pets.
Or even like you don't feel like having a third responsibility or second responsibility, like the child or children plus a pet. It's
Yep.
like a lot.
It's
And
a
like
lot.
even though pet kids are like, it's going to be another thing added to your list.
Yep. And moms know that, yes, we got a dog, but guess who walks the dog? Guess who feeds the dog? Guess who's got to take it to the vet and have paid for the dog?
Yeah. That's my year has started. I get Zeus in and then Hero and then
Cheetah
and then Jeff. Rotate them through. I can only afford to do you at least like once a month, if not every other month.
You're this month, you're this month, you're this month. Yep.
So like that's one of the first things I did when I separated is that I went out and got a dog because I love dogs and it was always like we can't afford a dog. And as soon as I was like, you know what, I'm getting a dog because my friends their dog had pups and now we have this crazy boy in the house. So
and I had cats for the longest time. Like I had my one cat for 19 years. And then after he passed away, like that's the thing when you're single though. And even if you're married, if you have pets, you do have to realize the responsibility of having pets. Pets are not toys and they need to be cared for. And if you're going away on vacation, if you don't make arrangements to have somebody come and
it's going to cost you more.
It's going to
cost
cost
your vacation.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're going to have to add that onto your costs.
Yeah.
And understand. So some people like our that roommate that just moved out, like she was just like, I would love that cat, but we're going to plan to go on cruises. And that would just give us like an extra thing to think about.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that makes sense. Those are decisions that you make.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're homebodies like me,
and it doesn't really matter. Other people use you as their pet sitters. Can you come and take care of my pets while we all go to Disneyland? Of course.
Sure. Because I don't want to go to Disneyland. I just want to look after your cat.
I just want to look after your cat. And one of them that doesn't like me, apparently. And I don't know why that is because I never heard him. And he was just, but he was just like,
it's like a guard kitty.
He's a guard kitty. Yeah. And he
takes it seriously.
He takes it very seriously. I have to stand there and, Rudy, you know that I'm only coming to feed you. And then he looks at me going, fine, I'll let you in. And he flicks his tail and walks away.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever. He is Jenna's cat.
That's cute.
It's the only one. He tolerates the rest of the family, but he's Jenna's cat. He follows her everywhere. Apparently the other ones follow her all over the house.
So yeah, we just wanted to have an enjoyable session.
Just blabbering.
Yeah, blabbering about what we enjoy about being single. And again, not in disparagement of marriage and kids. It's just a thing that we can enjoy. That
you know what else I've realized? Yeah. That when you're single and you're a night person and you know that you don't have to get up early the next day, I can actually stay up late.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to bed because I don't have an alarm clock to wake me up. Although I don't have that yet. Because
once you're working full time at the dojo, I'm gonna be like me. We'll just be like, we'll be up 3 a.m. and we'll be your opposite, David. You'll be getting up, we'll be going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if any of you listening have other ideas that are positives for being single, let us know. You can
aside from having the bed to yourself, the fridge to yourself, your car to yourself. Did I say that out loud? The remote to yourself.
All these things.
All these good things.
So yeah, it's
read what you want. Listen to what you want.
And let us know if you have any more ideas or if you resonated with any of the ideas. So
or if you just thought we were all full of fun.
Or if we were just off the wall completely. We're not anti-marriage. We're not anti-kids. We're not anti-looking to get married relationship. We're just looking at the positives
of
wherever you are in your
you are right now in your life and to enjoy what.
And this is a singles podcast aimed towards single people. So
yeah, because there's nothing wrong with enjoying your life as a single person in this moment. Because
we tell kids, enjoy being a kid while you can. Hey, enjoy being single while you can.
Yeah. Don't make yourself grow up too fast for crying out loud.
Don't marry the wrong person and then it's really bad.
Yeah, then it's really bad.
So, enjoy what you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
respect yourself. Know that you are so well loved by a great big God who wants the best for you, who's got the best plans for you. And if you live your life for him, and just live your life and enjoy the time that you're in. You have no idea what kind of blessings God has in store for you as a future. And these are not things that you have to, I'm doing this now because I know that God's going to have this wonderful, you don't know where God's plan is. Like we had no idea that God was going to put us in this.
No.
So whether marriage is in your future or not, if you enjoy your life now, then when you look back on your life 20 years ahead, you're not going to sit there, I should never have wasted those years.
Yeah.
Like I have.
Same with me. Regret. Just live your life. Like we always say, live your single life to its fullest.
Yep. You have dreams.
Some of those things can be accomplished as a single person and actually better accomplished as a single person.
Yep.
So please contact us on Facebook, Instagram, X, or email us at route77ministries@gmail.com. That's ROUTE 77ministries@gmail.com, and let us know what you think.
In the States, they call it route. That's what I was told.
We're Canadian, eh? We're Canadian, eh? So it's going to be Route 77.
Tomatoes.
Never tomatoes. We're not British anymore.
Is that the word?
Canadian, eh?
Canadian, eh?
Yeah. So Route.
Posers. Oh, wait. Funny. Yep.
We better say goodbye. This is just unraveling. So goodbye for now. Bye for now. And that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope our discussion has given you some new insights into the beauty of living life on your own terms. Being single isn't just a status, it's an opportunity to explore, grow, and cherish your independence. Remember, every phase of life has its own charm, and singlehood is no different. Thank you for tuning in, and we'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences on being single. Reach out to us on our social media platforms, and let's continue this conversation. Until next time, cherish your freedom, love God, and live your single life to its fullest.